Pag-aralan ng wasto, panatiling sariwang hangin.
Nakagawa ka na ba ng contingency and emergency plan na isinasubmit sa EMB sa registration as hazardous waste generator? Kung hindi pa, pwede mong maging pattern ito. At saka ang plan na ito, ang pag-prepare nito, paggawa nito, dapat naka-base doon sa Chapter 8, page 50 ng DENR Administrative Order 2013-22. So, pwede mong tingnan yan. At sa Chapter 8, nitong DAO 2013-22, nagbibigay doon ng outline para sa pag-prepare ng contingency program. So, basically, ito na rin yung ginagamit na outline sa pag-prepare ng contingency and emergency plan for the registration as a hazardous waste generator. So one of the requirements for registration as waste generator is the contingency and emergency plan. Siyempre, depende ito sa type of business, sa type ng establishment, dahil kanya-kanyang emergency. So, ang outline, nagpo-fall ito sa Chapter 8, page 50 daw 2013-22, ang mga sumusunod. At bibigyan natin to ng buhay after nating i-present ang outline, gawa tayo ng example na pwede nyong sabayan sa paggawa ng contingency and emergency plan. So, isang mga content nito, meron tayong 8. One is objective of contingency and emergency plan. Yan, gawa natin yan ng example. Then number 2, emergency response organizational structure. And number 3, list of potential emergencies and scenarios, especially handling, storing, and transporting of hazardous materials. So meron ka dyang potential emergency and scenario. And then number 4, specific procedure for responding to spills or chemical releases. At under this specific procedure for responding to spills or chemical releases, meron tayong type of emergency base doon sa number 3 mo na potential emergency, ano yung specific procedure. So, meron din yung scenario, the notification procedure, in case sa ganitong emergency, the response organization, layout plan, evacuation route, the PPE specific to the type, and characteristics of chemical release. Then step-by-step process to contain and confine the spills, response equipment, and decontamination process. So, ayan yung under the specific procedure na nakabase din sa number 3, potential emergency and scenario. Then number 5, we have schedule and conduct of drill, training and awareness plan, reporting and record keeping, and then updating the contingency and emergency plan. So again, based ito sa Chapter 8, page 50, DAO 2013-22. If you will not follow the outline, may possibility na i-return sa iyo ang iyong registration as waste generator, ang iyong application, kasi hindi naka-pattern dito. Well, sabi ko nga, bigay natin yung outline, tapos kumpletuhin natin, bigyan natin ng buhay ito, example. At kung may kulang pa rin ito, yun na lang yung i-workout ninyo. Again, pagka ni-return sa inyo ang registration, i-workout nyo kung ano yung kulang sa inyong plan. Ganun lang siya. At least meron na kayong masisimulan. So, Example, meron tayong isang restaurant, dami lang naman to, at magpapasa tayo ng contingency and emergency plan as part of the registration as waste generator nitong restaurant. So paano natin bubuhayin yung ating outline? So you can take screenshot ng outline na ito para meron na kayong pagbasehan. Okay? So first is the objective and declaration natin. Objective of contingency and emergency plan. Sabi natin, the contingency and emergency plan aims to establish procedures for preventing, controlling, responding to, and mitigating incidents involving hazardous materials generated, handled, stored, or transported within the restaurant fast facility. And then specific objectives are, ito na siya, protect employees, customers, visitors, nearby establishments, and the environment from hazard associated with spills, leaks, fires, and chemical releases. Another objective, minimize impacts to air, water, soil, drainage system, and nearby communities. Number three, establish clear emergency responsibilities and communication channels. Number four, provide emergency response procedures for hazardous waste and chemical incidents. Number five, ensure compliance with RA 6969 and DAO 2013-22. And lastly, maintain preparedness through drills, training, and continuous improvement. So, yan yung ating set objective. Again, hindi yan pro forma. Depende yan sa gumagawa. Pero ito na yung suggested objective of contingency and emergency plan sa unang outline natin. Number two, the emergency response organizational structure. Siyempre, lagi na prepared. Lagay tayo ng emergency response team sa ating establishment, sa ating kumpanya. And dito sa plan, magiging beneficial itong plan kung i-indicate natin dito yung kanilang kanya-kanyang responsibilities. For example, the managing head or restaurant owner, ano yung kanyang responsibility in case of emergency. So dito, responsibility over all emergency command and approval of actions. Sa pollution control officer, ang iba kasi hindi naman talaga pollution control officer ang tawag lang. Meron mga slash, meron nga environmental coordinator. So ano ang responsibility? Environmental response, spill assessment, and then reporting to EMB as exemplified in Section 10 of DAO 2014-02. So dito meron pa tayong iba't ibang mga members ng emergency response team gaya ng safety officer, ano ang kanyang responsibility, site safety supervision and evacuation control. We have also the kitchen supervisor. Dahil itong example natin ay restaurant, so isolation of cooking chemicals and gas systems, yan yung responsibility niya. Hazardous waste custodian, spill containment and waste handling. Especially kung it involves hazardous waste during emergency. Then we have first aid team, medical assistance and treatment, security personnel, traffic control and restricted access. Utility or maintenance personnel, shutdown of utilities and containment installation. Tapos pwede natin isama din yung external responders na makakatulong sa atin. Lalong-lalo, Bureau of Fire, sa LGU kumbaga. Now, here we have the emergency response team. Maganda, gagawin mo nga siyang organizational structure. Yun yung sinasabi ng outline. So, you have your team and then your organizational structure. So, ganyan. Example na lang yan. So, we have the emergency response organizational structure, internal, taka meron tayong mga supporting agencies. So, sa labas ng ating facility. And makikita mo na si Managing Head, overall emergency command and approval of action. So, yun talaga ang nasa pinakaitaas. And we can also set um, incident commander at yun na yung ating PCO or safety officer. At sa baba na lang yung iba't ibang mga makakatulong. Okay, so all you have to do is provide your organizational structure in the plan. So hindi naman ganitong ganito kung may iba pa kayong orientation. Pero dapat nalalagay sino yung overall command, sino ang incident commander, sino yung mga team leader. And nandito na sa itaas yung mga responsibility. Okay? So importante yan. Now, sa contingency and emergency plan, ay outline number 3, kailangan maglagay ng list of potential emergencies and scenarios applicable sa inyong establishment operation. So example lang naman ito for restaurant. Anong activity at anong potential emergency? Ano? Yan. So the plan shall specify an activity and a potential emergency. Tapos yung emergency na yan, magkakaroon ka pa dyan ng senaryo kung paano mo ngayon i-respond. So halimbawa, sa ating activity, kitchen cleaning, ito yung mga hazardous materials, pwedeng may chemical spill, grease trap maintenance, yung oily sludge, grease waste leakage to drainage, generator operation, hazardous material, diesel fuel, lubricating oil, then fuel spill or fire. So marami pa dito, LPG use, liquefied petroleum gas ang hazardous material, potential emergency, fire or explosion. Hazardous waste transport like used oil transport and then spill during loading or unloading. So yan ay mga list of potential emergencies. Yeah. Then after that, in number ito the next ay yung potential scenario base dito sa mga emergency. So meron tayong for example for this restaurant maglalagay tayo diesel spill from generator tank, leakage of used oil containers, breakage of fluorescent lamp, chemical splash from cleaning agent, LPG leakage in kitchen, fire involving oil storage area, chemical migration towards storm drain, vehicle accident during transport of hazardous waste, accidental mixing of incompatible chemicals, exposure of personnel to hazardous substances. So itong mga potential emergency scenario, yung galing dito din sa list mo, sa table mo. So itong potential emergency mo, gagawan mo ngayon siya sa number 4, specific procedure for responding. Kaya lang dito sa chapter 8, page 50, merong specific dito responding to spills or chemical releases. Kaya naman dito sa mga senaryo mo, sa list of emergency and scenario, maganda makita mo dyan yung related sa spills or chemical release. So meron tayong binigay na 10 emergency scenario sa isang establishment na to, itong restaurant. So kuha tayo dito ng isa, diesel spill from generator tank. So yan yung scenario number 1 natin. And then dito, ano yung sabi natin sa outline sa emergency and then specific procedure, meron tayong A hanggang K. So, ang gagawin mo when you are preparing this plan, doon sa yung isang senaryo, maglalagay ka dito ng specific procedure. So, A hanggang K. I hope you have understand this. Medyo mahaba. So, pagka, limbawa, meron tayong diesel spill from generator set. So, first, anong type of emergency? So, fuel spill and possible fire hazard. Tama naman, di ba? Then, ano ang senaryo natin? Bakit mangyari to? Generator fuel hose ruptures. During refilling, causing approximately 20 to 50 liters diesel spill near generator room and drainage outlet. Yan. And then, ano ang gagawin natin pagdating sa ganong senaryo? Well, internal notification. And then, meron pa tayong external notification. So, gumagamit ako ng visual. So, sino ang nakakita nung insidente o nakadiscover? So, kahit sino yan. Any employee who observes an emergency, spill, leaks, fires. So, dapat, report niya ito. Na-discover niya eh. So, we need to notify, we need to respond, we need to control, and then report again. So, incident discovery, tapos i-report sa kitchen supervisor, the person who will receive the report. Maaaring hindi naman po kayo restaurant. So, somebody will receive the report and assess the situation. Then, i-report din sa safety officer or pollution control officer. Ang gagawin naman, evaluates and confirms the emergency. And then sasabihin, maaari bang i-activate ang emergency response? Siyempre, ang sasagot nito, ang mag-a-approve ng action ay ang managing head. Sabi nga natin doon, siya yung overall command. So, declares the emergency level and authorizes actions and external notifications. And then, syempre, dahil merong response team tayo, may mga team leader at may mga members. So, they will carry out the specific response. So, yan yung internal notification na nangyayari yung emergency. At kung kakailanganin talaga, hindi talaga makontrol, kailangan na ngayong i-notify ang regulatory agency. So, there must be an external notification sa barangay, meron kang number sa barangay. Ang suggestion ko ay sa paggawa ng plan, ilagay nyo na mismo yung mga contact information dahil mahalaga na yan sa plano. Mahirap naman na gumawa na tayo ng plan, kulang pa ng Ricardo, yung numero mismo. So you just check the emergency contact numbers. Ano po? Barangay official, sa city, DRRMO, sa Bureau of Fire, emergency medical services like itong mga 911, sa DNR EMB, depende sa regional office kung anong contact information, and then nearby establishments or community. I-aware mo din. If and only if necessary, baka naman mag-cause ng panic. Okay, so you need to provide a notification procedure. Report, notify, respond, control, then report. Okay? So, sa external notification, medyo critical yan kasi magre-respond naman talaga ang mga yan. Lalo Bureau of Fire kung sunog. Pero kung kaya nyo pa din namang kontrolin, wag muna. Pero dito sa plan, di na tayo magpapaliwanag. Kailangan nyo i-indicate kailangan nyo indicate yung mga internal at saka external notification. At i-indicate nyo dito kung sino yung mga ino-notify in case. So, kung in case lang, halimbawa, spillage sa loob ng restaurant, kayo na yon. Pero kung lumabas na to ng inyong boundary, yan na. Kailangan nyo na mag-activate nitong nasa plano. So, maganda ang contingency and emergency plan kasi nagiging clear ang response na hindi naman pala kailangan makarating pa muna sa Bureau of Fire kasi meron pa naman, kaya pa naman dito. Hindi pa naman lumalabas ng boundaries, yung spillage, yung chemical release. And then, marami tayong paraan to notify, either mobile phone. So, meron na talaga tayong intended device para sa notification, especially immediate notification, emergency alarm, public announcement, radio communication. So, very common naman yung mobile phone and then emergency alarm. Okay? Sa response organization who will be responsible. Halimbawa, sino magsasabing talagang emergency na ito na kailangan na mag-contact sa external organization, sa BFP, sa DRRMO. O yun, dun sa incident commander. So meron pa tayong spill team, safety team, evacuation team, medical team, documentation team. Sa response organization ay lagay tayo ng team, type of team, saka yung kanilang particular responsibility. Since you are watching this, you are learning this, yan na rin lang ang pwede nyong isama and then pwede nyo na lang i-customize, i-improve yung mga responsibility. So, halimbawa, incident commander declares emergency. Spill team, deploy absorbents and barriers, especially nga kung ito ay oil, chemical, safety team, establish exclusion zone o bawal na muna ang pumasok dito, pumunta dyan. Evacuation team, guide customers and staff. Medical team, handle exposure cases, and then documentation team, incident records. Okay. Now, part pa dito sa ating outline, yung layout naman. So doon sa diesel fuel spill from generator set, nasaan ba kasi yung generator set mo, yung source of emergency. So maganda meron kang layout plan. So if this is your uh, emergency response layout plan, ito yung location ng generator set mo. At least meron kang plan paano ang response. Alam mo agad kung saan pupunta eh. So mula doon sa gate, papunta doon sa generator set area. Kung saan yung source ng emergency. Dapat meron kang layout. Meron kang floor plan available. Dito sa layout plan, meron ka ding ditong bibigay na evacuation route. So mula doon sa mga customers, sa ating mga staff, saan sila pupunta, saan yung assembly area. Dapat merong evacuation route plan. So part yan ng plan. So ready mo lang yung floor plan nyo. Indicate nyo yung evacuation route. May mga arrows, may mga pagpapakita ko saan papunta tayo. Okay? And then, lagay na rin yung mga emergency contact number. Lagay na rin dyan sa plan na yan. At ito ay nakapost na rin sa mga conspicuous place, especially malapit sa mga source of emergency at syempre doon sa mga like sa mga may mga tao na. Okay? Alam niyo naman natin yung conspicuous kung saan ka tumingin nakikita mo dapat ito. At para maging visible pa, gumagawa pa tayo ng paraan. Ito pa yung luminous. Kung walang kuryente, nakita mo pa din. So, importante sa plan, maglagay ng evacuation route plan. And then, required PPE. Depende sa chemical type. Kung fuel lang naman nga ito na galing sa generator, o di at least chemical resistant gloves. Kung used oil, nitrile gloves, solvent spill, goggles, respirator, kailangan uh, mercury lamp breakage, glove, face shield, LPG release, flame resistant. Ayan. And then, minimum na dapat meron tayo available sa ating facility. Lagay natin safety helmet, chemical goggles, N95, rubber boots, coveralls, apron, face shield. So in short, hindi man mangyari ang insidente, naka-ready na yan. And then the step-by-step, letter H, step-by-step spill containment process. So meron kang step 1, stop the source. Step 2, secure the area. Step 3, contain the spill. Step 4, recover material. Step 5, clean surface. Step 6, inspect the area. And then step 7, waste disposal. Napakalaga nito. Store recovered waste temporarily and transfer only through EMB registered transporter or PST. Okay? Malaga yan. And then, mga response equipment na dapat nakahanda din. Meron tayo halimbawa oil absorbent pads, spill sack, sandbox, chemical resistant gloves, goggles, respirators, mercury spill kit, fire extinguisher, foam extinguisher, first aid kit, shovel and broom, hazardous waste container. So ito yung mga quantity. So dapat minimum meron ka niyan. So anyway, this is a plan. I hope na meron maging materialize to. Kung meron kang sinasabi sa plan mo na ganito mga response equipment, tapos may mga quantity pa. Then finally, decontamination process. Di na naiwasan, meron na talagang mangyari niyan. Anong paraan to decontaminate? Remove contaminated PPE carefully. Wash exposed skin using soap and water. Clean reusable equipment using detergent solution. Collect rinse water when contamination is significant. Store contaminated absorbents as hazardous waste. Label containers properly. Then record decontamination activities. So what you are seeing ay paano naman yung taong nag-respond yung decontamination. So dapat meron tayo yung basic sanitation facility. Ano yan? Eh di standard a comfort room. Meron tayong comfort room, meron tayong mga washing facilities. Kung ito naman kasi ay restaurant, ay pwede na kahit ano lang, restroom. So that's it. And then meron pa tayo ditong pang number 5, schedule and conduct of drill. Ang ganda sa plan, mag-indicate. Halimbawa, spill response drill, semi-annual, twice every year. Sino ang responsible sa pag-schedule at pag-conduct nito? Ang PCO or SO? LPG leak simulation like quarterly, fire evacuation drill quarterly. So that's it. Wala namang formula to sa number 5. Then sa drill procedures, kung gagawa nito, halimbawa sa spill response drill, LPG leak simulation drill, fire evacuation drill, anong gagawin? Conduct pre-briefing. So hindi agad gawaan na, mag-briefing muna. Then activate emergency scenario, pero ito drill lamang. And then execute response base sa plan na ito, evaluate performance, so somebody will evaluate the response, and then record deficiencies, and then implement corrective action. So base dito, kung totoo na mangyari yung emergency, naka-ready na yung mga response natin dahil na-drill na yan. And dapat sa loob ng 5 minuto, meron na tayong spill isolation. And then 10 minutes, contained na. And then kung mayroong mga kailangang i-evacuate, 15 minutes evacuated na. Yan. Number 6 is the training and awareness plan. Sino-sino ang dapat a-attend ng mga training and awareness? Maliban sa doon sa drill, meron pa tayo like hazardous waste management, all employees. Special spill response training, ART members, fire safety, entire workforce, PPE usage, maintenance staff, chemical handling, kitchen and utility personnel, first aid, designated responders, and then LPG response, emergency response, kitchen personnel. Ayan, and then we indicate frequency. Dapat gawin ito kasi importante ito sa response. Now, hindi naman lahat lagi yung parang may face-to-face, parang classroom type. Meron pa tayong pwedeng paraan to provide awareness gaya ng emergency posters, spill response signage, toolbox meetings, orientation, syempre effective, safety, bulletin, dissemination. At yung actual talagang in training na meron talagang paggamit ng mga equipment. Okay? Number 7 is the reporting and record keeping. Ano yung mga documents na dapat i-maintain natin? Environmental incident report forms in case lang na mayroong nagamit. May reported like itong environmental incident report forms as exemplified in section 10 item number 14 and 15 of DOW 2014-02. Kailangan itong incident report na ito. So marami pa, spill investigation reports, drill evaluation reports, hazardous waste inventory, PP inspection records, training attendance sheet, manifest and transport records, photographic documentation, community notification records. Yan ang mga pwedeng nami-maintain. At kung reporting naman, depende kung minor spill within the organization, may report ito sa management. Kung major spillage, lalo kung chemical spillage, leakage, within 24 hours, may report ito sa EMB. Kung fire or explosion, environmental contamination, sa EMB and sa other agencies concerned. And then, based on our plan, it shall be retained for minimum of 3 years. And finally, in our plan, itong updating the contingency and emergency plan, kailan gagawin? Halimbawa, annual review after spill incidents, after emergency drills, introduction of new chemicals, expansion of restaurant operations, changes in hazardous waste generation, revision of DNR regulations, changes in facility layout. Babaguhin mo rin, i-update mo din ang contingency and emergency plan. So, this will be signed by the pollution control officer who prepared the contingency emergency plan. And as much as possible, maganda kung noted, check ng iba pang responsible officers, maganda approved mismo ng managing head. So for the purpose of registration sa EMB as a hazardous waste generator, maganda yung prepared ng PCO countersigned by the managing head. So this is your contingency and emergency plan based on chapter 8 page 50 of DOW 2013-22. I hope may masimulan kayo sa paggawa nyo ng plan, makomplete nyo ang requirements ng DNR EMB. Pero ang pinaka-importante ay ma-ready natin ang ating mga sarili sa pag-respond sa emergency at kung ano mismo yung objective na nakasaad dito sa plan ay ma-achieve natin. And we hope hindi natin magamit yung emergency response kasi ibig sabihin nun, nagkaroon ng emergency. At least, positive lang, proactive, gawin na lang yung mga inspection, gawin na lang yung mga training bago pa mangyari ang anumang emergency. So that's it. If you have questions, you can just type it below. Thank you very much. Follow the outline set by DNR EMB through DOW 2013-22 for the contingency and emergency plan.